Hey guys! So today I wanted to hop in here to talk about 5 ways that you can build excitement for your launch and eliminate some of that confusion and loss of brand equity that happens when you go through a launch or a rebranding process a lot of times. So often what I've seen is when someone is changing their name or rolling out a new look, a lot of times it's kind of a little bit like whiplash, because what happens is they're so excited and wrapped up in their launch. Hey guys, that they post about it on launch day, and then they just assume that everyone is going to see that, and then going forward, as you know, they're showing up in people's feed during the rest of the week, the coming months, or even years. Hopefully there's not confusion. But I think what all happens a lot of times is it ends up being super confusing. And so really this isn't just about, okay, how can I have an exciting, flashy, glamorous launch? I think this is important to talk about because it's about protecting your brand equity. So if you are going through a rebranding process, or if you're branding for the first time, there's a concept that's similar to investing, meaning that you have a compounded value for the look and really identity of your company that's accrued over time. So this means that when you do something like rebranding, there can be a temporary loss of brand equity, or even permanent if you don't go about things correctly. So with the launch, this is a way for you to share more of your beautiful work, to get more eyes on that, but also it's a way for you to protect what you've invested in. Oh, thank you, Amanda. You're so sweet. Thanks. This is definitely not the top I would have picked to wear if I had known I was going to do a live today. But hopefully there's, no malfunctions. Anyways, so with your rebrand, I wanted to share 5 of my favorite ways that I think that you can go about this to create that excitement, protect that brand equity. So the first thing I would advise is to share sooner rather than later. So a lot of times I see people making the mistake that they want to keep everything under wraps, like everything is top secret, hush hush. But the thing is, then you roll everything out and people aren't necessarily going to be used to your new look. So part of the power of a brand is that symbols become recognizable over time. And so whether you are a super large corporation, it's easy to think of iconic examples like McDonald's or Nike or whatever, but this concept still applies even if you're just a sole proprietor business, where really people are used to scrolling through their feeds and seeing that little profile picture come up for you, whether it's your logo or whether it is an on-brand image that you've picked even of yourself to represent your company. So realize that when you change that, and when you change the look of your website and all your collateral and all your different materials, there can be some dissonance that happens. So that's why I encourage you to actually share that earlier. So some ways that you could do this would be to share a little sneak peek of the logo or of other kind of design things that are in process. And that way people feel like they're a part of it. They start to actually be able to recognize that before you roll out the whole thing. So then come launch day, and then come after the fact, there's already some familiarity that you're building with that new look, instead of it just being this dramatic, okay, black and white to the new thing. So that's the first thing that I would say to think about. The second thing I would say is try to think about who your supporters are. So if you are a small business, the lifeblood of your company is referrals, right? So that is why you're still able to operate your business, because you're getting those referrals. And so really think about these brand ambassadors or these cheerleaders that have allowed you to build your business, and include them in this process, invite them into it. I would say you can do this even as early on in your research process, when you're going through things like defining your ideal client, doing that initial research. Even take a few pertinent questions to some of those brand ambassadors, people that they had a phenomenal experience with your company. They are the perfect fit for the type of work that you do, and kind of include them in this process. It will not only make your branding process a lot stronger and more effective for you, but you can also let them know, hey, we're going through this rebranding process. We want to hear from you. We want you to be a part of it. So that way, then come lunchtime, they already feel invested. They already feel almost like a stakeholder, because let's be real, they are. They've paid you for your services, and they're helping your family pay your bills because they believed in your work. So they really already are a stakeholder in your small business. And including them in that research process is just going to help them feel comfortable and familiar and even a part of this new rebrand when you actually launch it. So that's the second thing, kind of invite in those brand ambassadors and supporters into that launch process. The third thing, if you decide that you do want to do some kind of fun gift or giveaway, I would encourage you to personalize that. So this is another mistake that I see people making, or that sounds really harsh. That sounds super judgy. I don't mean it like that. But I think this is something that I'm like, I see sometimes people do things and I'm like, I wonder if those dollars could have been allocated a little bit more wisely. You don't want to be standing there flushing money down the toilet, obviously, when you've already gone through an expensive launch. And then post-launch, you're going to have other costs like publicists, things like, ongoing SEO work that you might want to invest in. You might want to invest in some styled shoots if you're a wedding business, things like that. Obviously, there's a lot of costs associated with rolling something new out already. So I think the last thing you should do is just go on a shopping spree and, put together some mega expensive gift that there's not necessarily going to be an ROI, by doing kind of a loop giveaway or a tagging giveaway on Instagram or something like that. So instead of that, I would encourage you to think about how can you do personal touch points to convey your launch, to get people excited about it. So this could be as simple, honestly, as sitting down and writing some handwritten cards to the people that have supported your business over the years, all your clients from the last year, the last few years, whatever it is that you feel is manageable, and inviting them to hashtag and share, thanking them for being a part of it, reassuring them that you're sticking to your mission, that your business is the same at its core, but you're going to roll out this new look or new name or whatever, and making them again feel a part of that, I think, is important in a personal way. So you might send them something small, a small gift of appreciation, whether that's a mug with maybe kind of a quirky, fun saying that's on brand for you, or maybe it is, just another small gift like a candle that you've branded. It's something that they can actually use and are going to enjoy. So, don't just send them a bunch of things with your logo slapped on it, but try to think about what makes sense, what's going to intersect with their life and your brand. And hopefully then it will be something they're excited enough to share about come launch day. And that brings me to kind of my other point, is to ask people. Ask people to be part of your launch team, your support team. Ask them in advance. I would say a couple weeks in advance. Reach out and, let people know this is coming. Let them know the day and time, and then let them know specifically when you would love for them to share about it, to be part of this. A lot of people have done this that have worked with me, and then other people, just friends I know through online business, have also done this. And I think that's such a great, straightforward approach. They say fail to plan to fail, right? And so when it comes to your launch, it's so easy to get caught up in all of the logistics and details of putting that launch together. And so that's why I think it is important you take a step back and look not only at all the specifics of getting your website ready to go, but that you take some time to think through your launch and what is ultimately going to be most effective. So those are some tips. I hope that was helpful. I would love to hear from you guys if you have any questions about this, or there's other launch related topics you want to chat about. I would be happy to talk with you about that, or share any input that I can. But it's so weird to see you guys. I see so many friends on here. I love this. Katie, Kaylee, hey guys. Hey Melissa, Robert, hi. That's actually a friend I met when I was on my trip to Italy. Rose and Laurel, the Blush Market. Jill, hey guys. Man, thank you so much for being here today. That's really all I had to share. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. It is a really beautiful sunny day here. I'll show you. Well, I have my curtain closed, but it's so sunny and so nice. It makes me so happy. All right, well, I will see you all later. And yeah, just drop me a comment if I can help with anything with your brand. Bye, guys.